All right, ladies and gentlemen, our first guest for our show tonight, episode 3, is actually an old dear friend of mine, and he's a lovely person. Please put your hands together for Trippin' Travis. Travis is on the show mostly because he's led a very interesting life. Your Michael Jackson phase.
Oh, yeah. I was into Prince and Michael Jackson, yeah, so I had the Jerry curl, the soul glow thing. Yeah.
Did you have the glove?
I never wore one glove.
Not at home?
No.
Not in your room?
No.
Are you sure?
No, I didn't.
You can tell us.
Never did the one glove thing.
No.
I had 2 gloves at one point, but not one. Yeah, I never did the one glove.
That's like the
I
line.
swear.
That's where he draws the line.
I
He's
do
like,
like
I'm
that.
a Michael Jackson freak, but I never did the
I
one
never did
glove.
that.
I'm not a total. I'm not one of those guys. Those guys are crazy. Right?
Yeah, the one glove guys were whack. It's okay.
Travis is a big jam band fan. Okay, so jam bands. Does anybody know what a jam band is? I know you don't. A couple of you. Woo! All right, there you go. A jam band will start the same song and then turn it into like a improvisational riff.
Possibly play another song.
And then play another song,
bring
and
the
then
song
come back
again.
to that other song they started
Blowing
15
minds.
minutes ago. So it really is a very venturous, and there's also an enormous amount of drugs involved.
Yes, there was. Yep.
Probably could have just played a ding ding dong, and you were like, woo, you know. But in general, the jam bands, they jam for hours.
Yeah.
Hours. They
Half
can
hour
play,
long songs.
Yeah, I
Longer.
mean, that's a long time. And so you can easily slip into a nice dance.
You can do whatever you want.
So let's ask you this. Your first big band you like to follow around, would you say Fish?
Actually, when I met my wife, Ashley, the first thing I ever said to her was, "Are you a Deadhead?" And she's all, "Yeah." And so that was good. So we started seeing the Grateful Dead.
I had a work colleague, who when Jerry Garcia died, she was so distraught she had to take 2 days off of work.
Yeah.
Is that you? Or you were
Yeah,
that
we
kind
were
of
pretty
deadhead?
bummed. Yeah. Yep.
Okay, I just want to understand
It
the
was-
level of devotion. You know, is it 1 day, 3 days
They
off?
still went to work, but they were totally bummed while they were at work.
Ashley worked in Marin at the time, and she, I called and I said, "Does Ashley know yet?" And they're like, "She's outside."
So how many times did you see the Dead, would you say?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know, 40 times. or
Not
so.
that many.
No.
So what if you were to hang out with a bunch of Deadheads and you say, I've seen him 40 times?
Yeah, they'd be like, no, but
They'd like laugh you out of the room.
300, man. No,
So,
but
how many times have you seen Fish?
I don't know, about 100 times or so.
100 times you've seen
Probably.
the same band,
Yep.
singing the same songs.
They don't sing the same songs in the same order all the time. It's okay.
So
I've
you go
seen
to
a
these
lot of-
shows. Now, what I was hoping that people would understand is there's a whole community here, and a lot of these people don't even necessarily have jobs. They're just following them around, doing a job
Yeah,
that
they-
goes with the community.
Yeah, they support themselves on tour, I guess. That was never one of our things.
Now, have you ever gone too far with the drugs at a show?
Yeah.
And that's consider 40 Dead shows, 100 Fish shows. I know there's a bunch of Panic shows in there. And you only had a couple bad trips, right?
I wouldn't call it a bad trip. It was, it was just really intense.
Where did you go?
I don't know where I went. I was. I'll preface it with this. It was Jerry Garcia had just died, and Fish was opening their tour at Cal Expo. So I went and got some acid from my friend, and when I was leaving, he was just like, "If you haven't dosed in a while, watch out." So
That's
I was
fair.
like, "Yeah,
That's
whatever."
a fair assessment. Warning.
And I ate one in the parking lot. We had them on croutons. We put it on croutons.
Wait, explain that to them real quick.
We put the acid on croutons
How do you do
so we
that?
could transport
Because
it.
it's liquid, right?
Yeah, it was liquid
So you
acid.
drip it
Yeah.
onto the crouton.
Yeah. So then,
Because they're from Marin, apparently.
Long story. Yeah. Soaks into the bread. Long story
Sounds
short,
good.
I ate more than I should have, and I remember walking into the venue and looking at the trees and the wind, and going, "Oh fuck," because they were just disintegrating in the wind, and so we were like second row, and they took a while to get on. They came on like 45 minutes late, so I got deep inside my head during the 45 minutes, and and they came up, and I made it through about 4 or 5 songs. And we were right in the light show. It was fantastic. I was tripping my head off, and I decided that I'd be more comfortable if I didn't have any clothing on.
You're not feeling that sensation right now, are you?
No,
Okay.
no.
All right, we're good.
But that makes sense.
So yeah, so I took all my
Hot,
clothes
a lot
off.
of lights.
Yeah, and I was
Took off
dancing
your
around. My
clothes.
friend was running around trying to get me to put my pants back on. And I was having none of that. And I was just having a fun time. It was great. And there's this thing in California, which is pretty awesome. It's called Rock Med. And if you're too high at a show, they'll take you in there rather than you like going to jail. and so they came up to me and there was like a song left and they were like, come with us. And I was like, no, I'm not coming with you. And I remember saying to them, I'm really high. I know I'm really high. And they were like, good, because we need you to come with us now. And I'm like, I'm not going with you. And so anyway, they put me on a stretcher and strapped me on there. And I remember saying to the guy, I'm like, are we going on the ride now? So they take me, the lights come up and they take me through the crowd and I'm looking up at all these people that are looking at the high guy. So I'm going through the crowd and I had this super like logo trip. I was like seeing Coke and Pepsi and Mountain Dew and I just had this whole thing like it was East Coast, West Coast. I don't know what it was.
Are you still naked at this point, or they put like a sheet over you?
They put something over me, I believe.
Something.
Got me through the crowd, and at one point I think a police officer stopped the crew and was like, "What's up with this guy?" And I remember the guy saying to Ashley, my wife, has he ever been to one of these shows? And she's like, yeah, this is what we do. and then they look at the police and they're like, he's coming with us. And they took me back in this like little chill area. And I talked to my wife and I'm like, this guy next to me, he has no clothes on. So funny. He thought he got sniffed into a horse's nostril. That was his trip.
That was what was going on with him, huh?
And I was like,
You clearly have to get your clothes off for that.
And I'm all, he has no clothes on. And my wife's like, look at you. And I'm like, no clothes on. I remember the guy going, where are you at? And I'm like, I'm at the fish show in Sacramento. And he got up, he's like, this guy's back. And they gave me my clothes, and they gave you this little thing that says, welcome back. You've experienced an extreme psychedelic reaction. And and they have these little boxes they check off. You were running around naked, being obnoxious. And it's like you may experience some confusion in the next couple days and this and that. So yeah, I had to sign that.
So do you have kids of your own now at this point?
I do.
Yes.
Nice.
13.
Did you tell them?
You know what? I was telling the story to some people once, and he was upstairs, and I didn't know he heard us, and he yelled down, "Great, good, Dad, good." So yeah, he knows now.
So what did you want to be when you were growing up? When you imagine your future?
Like when I was like 5,
Yeah.
kind of thing. I wanted to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
You kind of were.
I got really high.
Yeah, pretty damn close, my friend. Pretty damn close. I do want to read this. I did ask for bullet points for people, and Travis's bullet points are fun. Adopted Massachusetts, breakdancer, TGI Fridays, band geek, music, weed, LSD, Tahoe, Grateful Dead, fish, panicked.
That's a tombstone.
I know. Nice one. Okay, so 2 more questions.
Sure.
Superpower. What would your superpower be if you could pick? I know it's
I
a
go through
class.
this. Well, my son's always posing questions like that to us, so I don't know. Invisibility's always been one.
Yeah.
That's always come up.
So you like invisibility?
Yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
And my question, follow up on that particular question, invisibility. Now you're invisible
What I
for
do?
good or evil.
I don't know. I'll probably do it for good. I'll probably get a few perks for myself. And I think I'd probably do it for good.
A little bit of evil?
Yeah, maybe a little.
A little side of evil?
Not little, yeah.
Good with a side of evil?
Yeah.
Okay, and time travel. What time period would you go back to? And I'm thinking with you, it's probably
I'd probably
musical.
go to like the 60s.
Right.
70s.
And so you'll go back to the 60s, maybe hit some great shows,
Yeah.
early Stones, some
Yeah.
of the psychedelic bands.
Yeah.
The guy will be like, where are you? You'll be like, I'm in 1960s, man.
Yeah, right. I don't have any clothes on.
Okay, last question. What would you do, honestly, with $100 million?
$100 million?
$100 million. We're talking after taxes. You're done paying.
I would travel like crazy. I would get a little hotel, like a little apartment everywhere, and just kind of go everywhere.
Just go everywhere and hit.
Probably
everybody.
follow music, in
Right.
some
Follow
capacity.
some bands.
Yeah.
Maybe Justin will start a band.
I'm sure my son will start a band.
I hope so.
Me too.
Ladies and gentlemen, Travis.
Thank you.